We have a special guest today, but before we bring him on, I want to show a really cool video that he put together about how he got here. He's the most interesting man in the world, and this proves it.
Born in adventure at heart, I set out to discover the world through extreme activities, really when you feel immortal and there are no limits to what you can do. Coming from an intense family, I also grew up with that sport and finally learned golf as an adult. Well, pursuing my master's degree in construction management, I met my now wife, Miguel, and decided to set out on a new adventure with the chair. We moved to another country, the United States, to start our very own family. Based out of San Diego, I started traveling in the US and abroad, searching for more natural wonders. Our children, Andrea and Daniel, are native Sicilians and share some of our passions, combined with their love for writing and music. Now that the kids are all grown and on their way to conquer the world, Andrea and I have a plan to ride and hike many wild and exotic trails, as long as our needs will allow us. The combination of exercise and nature has been the glue that has kept us together for over 32 years with healthy bodies and high spirits. In the meantime, real estate is my passion and the fuel for this adventure and long road ahead of us called life.
Awesome.
My name is
Oh,
Miguel.
no, see, sorry. Okay. Here he is. Mega Camp was originally named Miguel Camp. I'd like to introduce Miguel Nunez. Coming up. Miguel has been helping buyers and sellers for 25 years. Last year, he and his team had at least 40 transactions and sold over 45 million in volume, right? And he was nominated for Mega Agent Realtor of the Year and by the SDAR. He's served on our ALC and he's been with KW since 2012, I think. Anyway, he's always been an interesting guy.
I lost track. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank
today.
you. Thank you. We're going to sit down.
Yeah. We can, I don't know how down this goes. Yeah, so tell us, we just heard about your background and stuff. What's the one thing that brought you to KW?
Gary Keller. Yeah. I think back in 2012, we were still in the middle of the recession. We're still struggling. And I remember that I was invited as a guest over to Austin. I think it was Mega Camp. Yeah, Mega Camp. And I was there. I was used to the rah approach from other brokers. Yeah, you're the best. Come on, this whole thing, which with my personality, that didn't really, I don't know. It just felt, yeah, okay. Some people do need that. It's not how I react to. So we go to the Mega Camp and Gary Keller's there, and something more or less, he said something to the fact that, there were 10,000 of us over there, and he kind of drew lines here. Okay, from here over there, you guys are going to be out of business next year. Kind of, and I said, oh, I mean, he said because of the situation where it was going, and if you don't want to be part of that, then this is what you have to do. But he didn't sugarcoat it at all. He pretty much said this, and he said, that's how I see it. I'm not here to pump you up. That's the reality of the situation. So with that, I thought, okay, that I can relate to that. I can react to that, and I can plan with that. And so this guy's gonna,
Sounds like it is.
he
And-
tells you like it is. And I that's what did it at one point. Yeah.
And have you read a lot of his books or anything?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much almost everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me a little about that. Did you connect with did any of them really feel meaningful to you?
Well, the millionaire, that obviously, it's kind of our Bible, or, that's how you put together all your systems and models. And then, but J. Pepson wrote The One Thing. And that to me has been, I think that has been my guide as to, I'm an engineer, so I make lists of things and to-do lists and all that kind of stuff. But then, you subconsciously start doing the easy ones first. And so you're just wasting time. So with that book, it said, okay, now it's so simple. So the premise is so simple that you kind of hit yourself. Why the heck didn't I think about that? So based on that, I program, I schedule, I prioritize, and it's a huge difference. Yeah, and a simple tiny little book.
It is. It's very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's your one thing, in running your successful team? First of all, you've been running this team since 2017, something like that.
Maybe 5 years. Daniel, you joined 2016 already.
This is Daniel. This is Miguel's son, by the way.
He's the brains in the team here. So yeah, I've had agents working with me, like buyer's agents, stuff like that. But I think formally, until Daniel joined me, we really, okay, let's look at it. Let's look at how we're going to do it. Of course, he brings in the whole, right now, what is relevant nowadays, which is the marketing, which is the online approach, which, people say, oh, you're so lucky, you're teaching your son so much about real estate. I said, no, he's teaching me about real estate. It's a whole new ballgame, 25 years in the industry. And it's a whole different approach. I still have my hangups. Those videos to me was, oh, come on. And there's some other weird videos of me out there, but, but they convince you that, just get over it. Get over it. It is what it is. I have, I don't know which arm is this. I would do videos and I kind of do this. And I saw the video. What the hell am I doing with my arm? It's a tick that I have. Or I would, I'd be doing the video and I would kind of do this as I'm talking and say, well, what's going on with me? You never realize until you see it and then say, Dad, you do that all the time. So then I still feel awkward, but then it would be awkward not to do that anymore. So it was just trying to get out, of my comfort and the very established real estate, the photographs and the whole, I don't know, So that was a huge help. I'm trying to, just, you're not that important. Just come and do this. It's a good thing. Video is huge, as you know. We've been introduced to video through him. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of
I
fun.
remember you're one of the first agents in the office who was really using video. You had a couple of luxury listings in Coronado.
Yeah,
Remember that one?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, he's really good.
Yeah.
You're so professional at that. And
Yeah.
And now your videos, some of them are a little more authentic and more about your lifestyle and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, again, that's the whole the new generation, which most of you are out here are there, and it's just I think we progressed now to a little microphone, but it's all the cell phone and minimal editing, just to make it real, I guess. And again, some people will say, well, that's not very professional or whatever, but you end up carving your own group of people who think that's cute or that's endearing or something, and if somebody takes offense to, I don't know, we don't do anything gross, but it's to something, then I guess we don't want to work with that person, which kind of serves as a filter.
People want to know you,
No, yeah,
what you guys do and stuff like that.
yeah.
So what do you do differently? What do you do differently? What are you crazy good at that you do differently than the Miguel Nunez team than other people? What do you do?
As a team, or
Yeah, as a team, or I don't know, as just Miguel.
I don't know. I don't consider myself being very talented. My daughter is a writer, very talented. Daniel has a photographic memory, and he's got, he's always, Daniel, what's the phone number? Something, 3 years ago, and he'll throw it out there. And and I don't have any of those talents except so. And again, what's the easiest when you don't have a specific talent like that? I just concentrated. Okay, what can I control if I don't have talent? My day to day. So going back to, okay, what's important today? And, we do business planning and 5-year plans and 1-year plan, all this stuff. But I really reduced it. So, okay, that's too bad. You need some financial approach. You kind of need to see what's going on with the economy. And we just reduced it to, okay, what do I have to do today? And if I just concentrate, and that I can handle very well.
So you know your numbers and you're tracking
Yeah,
your contacts and your leads and what you can do every day.
Yeah. So now I know exactly how much my time is worth, an hour of my time, an hour of everyone else. Yeah. 350.
350?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 24 hours a day.
No. No.
I remember we had an OP that said one time he wouldn't pick up a quarter if he was walking down the street.
There was time. Yeah. But even if we're half of that or a quarter of that, it's just, okay, am I going to go and I don't know, take my clothes to the cleaners? Might as well find somebody else to do that. Linda Lee does. Yeah. So again, just doing what has to be done on that specific day. And now I'm relaxing. I had on my check marks and how many I had to do 20 contacts every day. I had to, I have my list of birthdays every day. I'm kind of relaxing a little bit more now because we're working more with a smaller group of people. So my approach is now, instead of working with, trying to, market a whole bunch of people, we're just taking better care with a smaller group of both professional clients and homeowners as well. Yeah.
That's your new approach in the last few years, or?
Yeah, I think I decided to, I'm 64 now. So I got this wave, and thanks to my wife of, I'm an engineer and, just very square, just trying to be more receptive of what's going on around you. Who are you dealing with? I mean, we've had clients that I've worked with them, for example, attorneys that I've worked with them, and we know each other professionally, and I'd get 1 or 2 deals from them. But until I decided to, okay, well, I don't know a whole bunch about him. Let's go and have lunch, and let's not talk about business. Let's, what's going on with your life, and the relationship grew stronger, and but it was just out of curiosity, nothing else. I think, I said, well, God, this guy, at least he gives me a couple deals a year. I need to know him. Now all of a sudden we have, like Stacy, we get 6, 7, 8 deals from them now, because that connection, that personal connection, I guess made them comfortable, or we understand more how they think or what they like or how do you want to, rather than them adjusting to how we have our systems. We kind of cater everything. Well, do you like? Well, I want your email to always go to first here and there and there. So okay, we'll do that. So we customize our approach to them.
Going deeper with your database
Yeah.
instead of wider.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So your niche is working with attorneys, and tell us about that.
So we have, after 25 years, we have our, now I have clients who have bought 2, 3, 4 times from us from when I started, but we've been focusing a lot more on attorneys, probate, and trust sales because I'm still a civil engineer. You don't stop being it. But then I had an intermission there where I became a private fiduciary, which I started managing trusts and estates when we had one of the multiple recessions. When was it? 91-ish. Some of that. We had another savings and loans recession. Those who remember that one. So my sister is an attorney, and she said, well, we have these cases where they need somebody to handle their affairs. And these were basically from Mexico. That's how it started. So they need somebody to handle the affairs. So I started handling the family affairs, like a family office, which was a pain in the butt. But okay. So, and then the courts, I started getting cases from the courts where there was a personal injury case. They sued the city for $1 million, but the city doesn't give the money to the injured party. They hire somebody like me, say, okay, here's $1 million. Here's this guy who has brain damage. You need to manage his life and his finances. So big job, very, very stressful, because the family says, yay, we won $1 million. And okay, where's the money? And I come in and say, nope, you're only getting $200 right now. That's all he needs. And then where's the rest of the money? So very stressful. That's why I did that for 10 years. and I decided to switch over to real estate. But being in that, oh, well, but being in that position allowed me to know the court system, to know the judges, to know the attorneys who work in that arena. So for them, my first clients, when I stopped doing that, were my former colleagues who said, Miguel, well, my client just passed away. Can you help us with this one? And it's Judge Keller. And so they tell me it's this judge and that judge. So be aware. So kind of, I was kind of in the know there of the internal dynamics, which made it easier for them to give me to sell those properties. Yeah.
You've described yourself as an introvert, Miguel. You don't seem like an introvert at all. You seem like you're really out there networking with everybody. So
I fake it very well. So what I discovered that because of COVID. I enjoy being out with people. I do enjoy it. And again, it's just my sense of curiosity but I need to know more about you. Josh, I mean, he hits the ball like crazy. You would never know that. And he's a great baseball player. I thought, holy God, I had no idea this guy was so strong with that kind of stuff. So COVID comes in and we're stuck at home. And the months go by, and it was just me, Daniel, and my wife at the house. And I was not feeling that I was missing on anything. And a year came by and 2 years came by, and I was so comfortable. So it was so efficient because we were working hard and of course we got really busy, but I didn't realize that I was going to be so comfortable being enclosed in my house. So I thought, well, that's how I discovered that's my natural. And I do, if there's an event or there's, I just went to the San Diego County Bar Association had a picnic downtown. So I'll go to those things, but on my way out, I say, oh, I'm going to go to this thing. I'm, small talk. And it's kind of bugging me. Once I get there, I'm fine, but it's, I have to kind of pump myself up for that. A glass of wine always helps. Yeah. But it is
it just depends on the people you're around. If you can get in a conversation and go deeper with them. Yeah.
Yes, and it goes both ways, because then now they come to me, the attorneys come to, or sometimes the clients come to me, they invite you to places. So it is that connection is worth developing, because it's a stronger relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're working your sphere, but you're keeping it smaller and going deeper with the people that you have in your database and providing really good customer service. Or are you having get-togethers with them? Are you doing small little events?
We used to I used to do events. We used to do for the professionals. There were two things that we do for friends. My sister is in a global kind of charity called Global Fund for Women, and back then the Gates Foundation was funding that organization. So they would travel all over the world to address women issues. In Africa, in Thailand. So they would have once a year they would have meetings throughout the world, and she would meet people in those travels. So she and I decided to invite people from those people that she met. We brought a lady from Rwanda, and she was part of the genocide. And she had written a book because she at one point started a business after the genocide, and she hired people who killed part of her family. So that's kind of part of that's the whole premise of the whole shock about reconciliation. That's really reconciliation. So we would invite her over, and we would order a taco operation there, and we'd invite a whole bunch of people who would come, and it's fun because people, or a lady who did a travel around the world with her granddaughter, and they shot. It's all surrounding women situations, so they would take pictures in different parts of the world, and there was a story behind each picture. So those events we would do that. And then for attorneys, we would do, I would always do meetings at, restaurants at the Pacifica, in the private room here, and have a little speaker, something. We'd have some kind of a speaker. And at one point I told my wife, with that, I want to know these people deeper and see who's my friend. I don't want to deal with jerks. That some attorneys are interesting, to say the least. So, but on these meetings, we would have about 40 people, 35 to 40 people come to these events. So I said, let's do it in my backyard. We have a backyard. It opens up a little bit into the golf course. So it's kind of, it's open. So it's going to be 35, 40 people. We'll have a taco guy here. So we sent the invitation out. 80 people confirm. So now we're panicking. My wife's, what did you do? Where are we going to put them? And the HOA, I know they're going to have a fit, because where are we going to park, 40 cars? And, I'm panicking already. But it turns out that people at one point say, well, can I take my wife? Can I take my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever? They came in completely. Daniel thought, oh, boy, he's a whole bunch of attorneys here, thinking of the typical stereotype of the attorney who reads the will, this big old fat attorney, well, the will of your father is. And all of a sudden, our tequila stash ran out because the age group of the attorneys is now 35, 40. So it became a blast, and that generated generated a lot of good relationships. So we're kind of riding, and that was pre-COVID. So now we're kind of riding the wave, and of course everybody keeps asking,
When are you going to do that again?
when are you going to do that again? We had a funny situation because we're on a golf course, and I thought, what can you do for entertainment? Or we didn't have to be creative. And I have a couple of friends who are now they're movie directors, but back then, well, they're still opera singers. So Daniel takes them golfing, and there's 80 of us in the backyard, and takes me golfing, and they're both big. That's good opera singers. And then all of a sudden said, well, and it looks like Miguel has a party, and he didn't invite us, with his big tenor voice. And then the other guy starts racing all kinds, but we planned it. And then one of the attorneys says, Miguel, I think somebody out there is asking about or saying something, because they started making kind of rude things. So I come up, hey, how you doing? So we start talking. Say, well, how come we weren't invited? So, well, sorry, can I offer you a beer or something? I said, well, what are you going to do you have to earn the beer. So, well, I'll sing. Say, no, don't sing. No, I'll sing. Then also start singing beautifully, of course. And the other guy starts singing beautifully. So they come into our little area here. We have a gate that communicates. And it was a blast, because at one point they ended up singing, Beatles songs and stuff like that. So that was a memorable thing. And people say, well, when are you going to do that again? So, we're waiting for COVID to kind of clear out to put something like that together again. But it was interesting. It was fun. And we definitely just got a lot closer to a lot of them. Yeah.
So you're just living your life and having fun, and people are doing business because they like you and they want to be with you, and you're the most interesting man in the world.
No, we're having fun. With Daniel now, it's different because it's not a father-son type of thing. And my wife, she's at home, she's not working. No, she's really taking care of all the logistics at home. And so admin and the design, they consult with design. I am having fun. We're really busy, very, very busy. But it's kind of, we have our little things that now you don't know this, but we have a house in Campo that they just gave us, a little house in Campo. That's about an hour away. But every time we go to a different area, and we work all over town, they're like, okay, let's look for the little hole in the wall, little restaurant out in somewhere, and let's just explore there and mingle with the locals and see how it, see what this all about. So we're having fun. And now, but we do have people who, like yesterday, you lucked out on this one, but I get a call from a neighbor, hey, the house you're selling, somebody just moved into the house. And I just call the police, and there's all kinds of drama going on. Yeah. So
you've got all kinds of price points. I think last year you sold the highest listing the office had last year, I think, right? And you've done it a few years, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Haven't you? Yeah. Last
Yeah.
year it was like 7.5.
7, yeah. And we were at escrow at 12 billion, another one, but that didn't go through. So they said let's had to sell for 7 billion. Yeah. Poor things.
So you're comfortable doing luxury and then also taking a little Phone
Well,
call and half of-
what happens is that working with attorneys or with anyone else, it's service that we offer. It's, we'll take the good and bad, or sometimes these cases come in with, well, I've got a little duplex here, then a house there, and then, so I can't tell the client, well, we'll take the ones in La Jolla and then figure out the rest. So we kind of, it was our policy to take
Do you feel
everything.
like you have brand? And is that your brand service?
My brand, unfortunately, is me. And by unfortunately, it's because I don't want to be the brand. Because then what happens if I want to retire or something, but and then again, going back to Facebook, where at one point I was thinking, I think said, Miguel, they call you because of you. And yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, but it is, because I'm not, well, and Daniel is also very low key, but we don't, and something, the people we work with, they like that. We're no drama. Sometimes we have families just about to kill each other. We go into the rooms, we go into the attorney's offices, conference rooms, and everybody's throwing stuff at it. And here, Daniel and I come in, we sit down and we just kind of, until they start looking at us, says, what's wrong with these guys? They're not reacting to all our drama. And then with everything settles down, okay, what's going on? And then we kind of, we do more, I'm more of a shrink than a realtor, really. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you doing, well, let me ask you this, because we're kind of starting to run low. I'm gonna ask, we'll ask some questions in a minute, but so what do you think some of the common mistakes that new agents make? If you have a guess on that, or
Oh, no, that's easy. I think it's just not doing what you have to do every single day. It's not that, it's just not complicated at all. Set your schedule for the day.
make peace with the boredom of repetition.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's your body after a while, it's like exercise, your body, it's not that, no, your body tells you, okay, it's time to do your yoga. It's time to do, it becomes natural. So it's really simple. Just schedule your day and don't let anything get you off your track. And then the next day, do the same and same. I mean, yeah.
If you were starting over right now as a new agent, what would you do? Or if you had, $3,000 to invest in yourself or your business as a new agent, what would you do with it?
I don't know, but
Get a website? Would you get coaching?
well,
What would you
yeah,
do?
but we all have that on websites, all of that. We have it in command, I guess, or, I mean, I would go and do open houses every day. I would be there 4 or 6 hours or 3 hours in the morning. I would put signs at 6 in the morning saying open house today at such and such, and I'd be there every, with the listings, I'd be and work and, make sure that I have a good, or my hotspot or something, and work make the open house my office. And whoever shows up, shows up. And if they don't, I didn't lose my time, or I take a book, but I would be out there. They see the signs there. Yeah, I mean, you talk to the people and it's just a matter of, it's a numbers game, but that's what I would do. Yeah.
Advice.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Miguel before? Okay.
How much of your business comes
Hmm.
Daniel?
Daniel. Yeah, we get calls. This last one, Bond, on Bond Street. The attorneys referred 3 names, and the ladies who were the daughters asked their grandson, okay, here are the names, choose the agent. So the agent went in and Googled us and all that stuff, and of course they saw the website. And again, it's not a professional website. It's kind of a, with a lot of videos. It's not necessarily. It's not a promotional website, but it's something where I think of the website as a tool for somebody. And I don't know how old the grandson is, and I'm trying to reach out and figure out who the grandson is because I want to send him a gift. But he said, yeah, thanks to my grandson, he gave us your name. So that's part of that. Then, or we get calls saying, "Hey, we found you," or send us, "Yeah, we went to your website and hey, who does your marketing?" Because we went to Google, we went to YouTube. Who does your website? And who does
They
that?
could find you online. Your website's professional, though. It's professional. It just doesn't look like everybody else's.
Yeah,
But it has, yeah, it has videos of, it has some,
it's not your
personal-
typical, yeah. And again, check it out. But yeah, it's just, I think it's a little bit of our personality out there. Which I think, again, like I was gonna say, what's your secret? Well, just be yourself. That's why Daniel helped me with that video, because it's they hire you because of who you are. And then my wife says, "Well, but you also work hard." I said, yeah, I get it. It's not just because of my past, but I also work hard. But at one point, if somebody doesn't like somebody who was born in Mexico, well, those are not going to hire us. But let's put it out there. Hey, I was born in Mexico, and it is what it is. And I like the outdoors, and it is what it is. And so,
reminds me of the saying I gave to Sharon this week. You can't make everybody happy. You're not a taco.
yeah,
Maybe you are a
yeah,
taco, though. I don't-
yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad.
How do you decide how to not waste time, like with clients, like at this point in your career, decide what's worth chasing, and what's worth going after, what's worth not?
Well, first qualify really, really hard. And if they don't somewhat take the minimal necessary steps to where you want to go, I mean, that's the first step, right? Of course, we try to do, again, as I said, we try to maneuver and play and to make our systems adapt to whatever our client's needs. And if our client can't, he can only see properties during the weekend. Well, okay, we'll figure out how to do that. But you manage your business, have your business, your managed systems, your business systems very well established, and make sure that they take those minimal decisive steps. Otherwise, you won't take them on. And at one point, well, if you don't have time for us during this, so sorry, we can't work with you under these circumstances. 9 out of 10 times they'll come back to you. Right now, with the contract that Rick was helping us, the client was Laura Berry was the agent, very well. Well, if my client is definitely not going to work with that contract and blah blah blah, and it's illegal, I said, okay, very good, thank you very much, see you later. Yeah, later that night, okay, yeah, we're going to send you the contract. 4.6 million. But they play those games. Clients will try to do that. Have some respect for your business, and stand for your business, and you'll gain respect. At one point, people will just throw you, well, I guess I'll call somebody else. Very well. But
People how to treat you.
yeah. And in a weird way, you earn, and they'll come back to you. They'll come back to you. So, and it's very satisfying to do that, because then you stood for yourself, you stood for your business, and you owe it to, why are you doing this? If it's your family, you owe it to your family, not to be screwing around there, spending time where you shouldn't be doing it. It's not going to bring anything to the table. Yeah.
Boundaries,
Yeah.
standards.
Yeah.
Angela.
Social media, so producing at the level that you're producing and selling for $12 million properties, how do you protect your personal time? So you don't get burned out.
I mix it, which is not good. In the past, I used to get upset because if I took a week vacation and I had an issue, or somebody called and I picked up the phone, and I said, oh, I shouldn't have taken that call, because it screws me. I'm kind of, I like to please my clients. I'm always, and if one of my clients is upset, it kind of screws up my day. So it would do that. And Anne-Marie and I talked, again, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How long am I going to work? And my plan has been to, okay, I'm going to take, 3-4 vacations. And again, let me rephrase that. 3-4 trips a year. Sometimes we'll rent an RV, sometimes we'll rent a BRB. We just came back from Big Bear, but I'm still working. Literally working. I wake up at at 6 a.m. I go out and cup coffee, sit outside, enjoying wherever we're at. And I'll work for 2-3 hours there while everybody else starts getting up, breakfast starts getting ready. And then I'll go out and hike or ride our bicycles or do whatever it is that I do. And then in the afternoon, I'll come back, and while everybody's showering and getting ready, I open my computer, 2 more hours. So I incorporate it now into that way I can work like that until, I don't have to retire per se. I'm able to kind of tell my brain, this is okay. And thanks that you can do that, you can be here, Linda Lee does the same thing. And the key is that your team members, people who work with you. I've got Carla, who now they started as buyer's agents, but now they can bring listings as well. So it's Carla, it's Mike Espinosa, who helps me with all the probate stuff. And Nick, right now, he's kind of working somewhere else. He's working for this new electric car. What's that? Ribbon, yeah. No, he's bringing in some interesting clients who buy those expensive electric cars. So that's the key as well. So I know that if we were in Yellowstone, hiking miles into the mountain, and all of a sudden my phone rings because I had my phone because I was kind of following the trail so that we don't get lost. And my phone rings all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere out there.
Service very much there.
Well, somehow it got through. And everybody's like, oh, shut that phone, come on. Everybody complained about, sorry. I didn't turn it off. And so I finally, took the call really quick and kept the not jogging, but the trail. All of a sudden somebody else came, hey, can I borrow your phone for a second? Said, you were giving me a hard time for taking the phone. But again, I merged them. So I may not be very healthy, but
Like as a newer agent, or when I was a newer agent, it's almost like it was work and then your personal life. So I can see where like weaving them together, or that's how, I don't know, maybe for some of the newer agents, you see it as like, it's not part of who you are. So
Yeah.
I feel.
I wouldn't recommend it, but if I want to be working remotely, half of the year, then I have to adapt to that. But if you're new, maybe you really there's a book called The Power of Full Engagement, I think it's called. And he said, well, if Michael Jordan, all he did was practice, he wouldn't have reached where he was. He had to stop at one point. He had to take breaks as part of the rigorous training that he had. Is to completely ignore basketball. Otherwise, he would just burn out. So, yeah.
I think a lot of us don't have really defined, like this is work time and this is play time. Sometimes it overlaps, and, and your friends are your clients and your clients are your friends, and you go on trips with your friends who are your clients, and kind of overlaps sometimes.
And now funny because now my clients, when they call me, so where are you at now? I mean, because they know we're still doing business. So, I'm here in somewhere. And so we talk a little bit about, my working abroad, wherever I'm at. But they know that there's always somebody who's going to be, okay, we need this, we need somebody in our team. It's not a huge team, and we have, but we have and I also have my VA, which is wonderful, Ed. He runs the business well. He runs the operations in Philippines. And Ed, if you're listening, don't work on weekends. He works weekends. And I told Ed, what the heck? Yeah, he's there. Oh, there he is. Don't work weekends, Ed. He is he runs a business. He writes my contracts. He runs my operation. Keeps track of the systems that we've all designed, both operational, very important. And then he and Daniel manage all the marketing. it's critical. So with good training and the discipline that Ed has, it's just, it's a huge difference.
Very
So,
good.
yeah.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Really,
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Guys. That is, thanks so much, Miguel. I really appreciate your time and your contribution to the Market Center.